Hello, hello. My name is Brittany.
And I'm Kate.
And we are
The Fools.
Join us as we explore everything spiritual, astrological, and overall mystical.
Don't forget to follow your intuition, but more importantly, follow us at The Fools.
Hello, everyone.
How do you all do?
Good.
It's 11:11.
I answered for everyone. A collective good. It is 11:11, which is known as a portal.
Yeah, special day in numerology.
Yeah, it's fun because, you get 10:10 and 11:11. Is 12:12 one? I'm assuming.
Probably, yeah.
It's funny. I never really knew about numerology before my spiritual journey, so it's kind of fun having another extra thing along with the moon cycles to connect with your spirituality.
Yeah, I was I pulled a morning oracle card, and it was all about shedding new skin and stuff. And now it was funny because I was literally getting a haircut
And going into the sensory deprivation tank, which we're talking about today. That's so funny. Wow.
It was great. And we're leveling up, we're shedding skin, we're moving on out, we're cutting things.
What a literal pull. I love that. I also did a tarot pull for myself. I did a 5-card spread and journaled about it, and it was a nice, good clarity. I kind of told myself okay, let's refocus on November. Let's this portal, use it as a launching pad for how I want to go into the rest of November, because I feel almost like I'm starting over again after getting really sick, which we talked about last week, which is strange, but just getting my life together and I don't know, realigning with how I felt beforehand.
Right. You spent a lot of energy healing.
Yeah.
And you're still working on it.
Still trucking.
Still trucking. Well, we did do a sensory deprivation tank today on the 11:11 portal,
which I loved. It was Kate actually got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
It's a funny backstory. I don't know if you remember, months ago we were sitting in your hot tub, and then we randomly started talking about sensory deprivation tanks. And I don't know if you had already bought that for me as a present or were thinking of it.
I was thinking of it.
Okay.
And I was just I think this means I should.
Yeah. And I think I have said in the hot tub, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of it. And you were just that means yes.
It totally pushed me to, I was I love that you're scared.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't heard of a sensory deprivation tank, basically, so there's a couple of terms that people use for it. Sensory deprivation tank, isolation tank, float tank are the three that I found. I'm not sure if there are any more. In layman's terms, a sensory deprivation tank is a big old bathtub looking float session.
It looks like a spaceship bathtub.
Yeah, you're climbing into a nugget of a portal into a different world.
I thought I was about to cryo freeze myself and wake up in the future.
That's what I was hoping to happen. Unfortunately, it didn't, but it was still pretty sick. If we give that was our personal definition, a fancy definition, a sensory deprivation tank, also known as a flotation tank, provides restricted environmental stimulation therapy. A person experiences minimal sensory stimulation when inside the tank, allowing them to relax. The tank contains enough water for the person entering to float on their back. Floating helps a person feel fewer effects of gravity. The tank is soundproof, which prevents noise from causing distractions, and it's also dark so the person cannot see what is around them. The lack of external stimulation a person has will help them relax. This relaxation helps with a variety of issues, ranging from anxiety, stress, physical aches and pains. Some say it boosts creativity. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I think overall meditation and relaxation is the point.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. You do have the effects of anti-gravity or no gravity.
No gravity. Yeah, I actually had a little panic attack moment because of that. Because it's weird. I mean, I don't know if you want to just ping pong or each talk about our experiences.
I think ping pong.
Pingy pong?
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, the girl told us, how much salt, isn't it?
1,000 pounds of Epsom salt.
There's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in this goddamn bath. And that just blew my mind.
I can't even conceptualize it.
I know. And the water was the same temperature as your skin. So that also creates the no gravity effect.
It's supposed to be womb-like.
I could see that. I don't love that. but I could see that.
I kind of
Okay.
into it.
First off, I got in the tank and I didn't turn off the lights in the room, and mine didn't seal all the way shut. There was like a rim.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I had to get my like wet body and just like pat across the room and turn off all the lights.
I forgot to put my earplugs in, and I had to get my wet body out and be like,
So we're struggling. So they provided these like weird rubbery type earplugs. I was taking the instructions of the earplugs far too literally. I was like, okay, it stated, don't put it in your ear canal, but then have it flesh to your ear to block anything from coming in. But every time I tried to make it flesh, I could feel it going into the canal of my ear. So I was like, I'm doing this wrong. Just Virgoing out, spiraling. And then I hear my tank start talking to me like, your session's about to begin. And I was like, no!
I was in it like pretty much before, and I was like, is this thing on? like,
hello?
I was just like pressing some buttons.
I also was having problems with my shower. I couldn't get it
yeah.
warm. And I was like, I am not taking a cold shower. That will fucking ruin this experience. But my shower head was just kind of messed up, so I had to like finagle that. I was having a whole moment. But I don't know if this is a normal thing, and I don't know where this came about, but I know I've always had this. I hate the feeling of water in my ears. Even though I love swimming, and I don't mind when I dunk myself in. It's when I float on my back.
Yeah.
There's something about the water entering my ear that like makes my spine shiver. That like, you know, that feeling.
Yeah.
And so I don't float a lot because I don't find it relaxing because of the feeling it causes on my spine. So I was really focused on my earplugs working for me, which they did. There was a couple times I came up and I was like, are they working? Like, are they working? And then it was fine. Yeah. How about you?
Once I got them in, I honestly didn't even read the instructions on the earplugs.
How are we so different? I don't understand.
I just like plucked them and was like, blop. It's just, you never put in earplugs before, Brittany?
These are different.
Okay.
I wear earplugs every weekend for my job.
Anyways, yeah, I just stuck those bad boys in my ear holes.
She was like, they're different. They're weird. Don't put them in your ear canal. And I was like, oh, why? Could you die?
Weird people, they were like the waxy ones, like that guy that got them stuck in that you knew. So she was like, just don't break them up and stab them in your ear.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing is my boss for the music festival, we would use the wax earplugs sometimes, and then she made too small of a ball to put in her ear, and it went down her ear canal and had to go to the emergency room. So
yeah, okay, so you're kind of traumatized by that. Anyway, I just like was waiting there for it to start, like hanging out, and I was really taken aback by that floating feeling. Like it's just like instant, actually. Like your legs are all up in the air, and you're like, what the heck? You feel like a magnet. You know when magnets like the opposite ends and they can't go together? That's what you feel like once you're all the way horizontal. You're just like levitating.
Yeah, it is really weird. I will say I wrote down like initially I was like kind of fearful. It's just such a weird experience. It's unlike anything you have even in a pool or any body of water, even the fucking ocean, which is full of salt. But it just really immediately like sweeps you up, and you're just like, oh, okay,
I'm up here.
We're doing this.
And I remember feeling like, wow, like a little nervous to relax my head all the way back because heads are heavy as hell.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's supporting my heavy.
This is a big 8-pound baby, like.
Yeah, it's supporting my heavy ass head, like, and it's floating here.
And you could feel the water. It does really circle your face, and then like your temples back are completely submerged. I was having some problems relaxing also because I'm experiencing some shoulder pain. I'm not really sure what from yet, but when you float, you can't like sit up straight. So your shoulders kind of naturally round, and then your arms float away from you. They don't, if you want them to stay by your side, you'd have to use your muscles to do it. So to have this rotation in my shoulder, I was like, this doesn't feel fucking good. And I have a cut on my pinky, and that was a little salty bitch. And
our buttholes. Instantly a salty butthole the minute you get in there.
You were assaulted in the butthole a little bit. I don't know if it's just because we were new and not ready, but I don't know. TMI.
I think maybe that's why people wear swimsuits sometimes.
Maybe, but then, the water's going to get in the swimsuit.
It's going to get in there, yeah.
Yeah, when I first got in there, I also, went to the bathroom pretty soon before getting in the tank. So I thought that was why. Like, I was like, oh, maybe a little wipe too a little hard. It was a little raw. But yeah, it felt a little weird on my private lady bits too. I was like, this is a strange...
Salty
feeling.
It's a salty feeling.
But it goes away.
It does go away.
And my shoulder pain finally went away. I think I was just kind of fighting the float because it is such a strange experience.
Wow, what a profound life lesson.
I know.
There.
Don't fight the float.
Yeah, man, just float free. Release it.
The place that we went to, it's called Pause in Hollywood, West Hollywood. Yeah.
Hollywood, I guess.
Hollywoodish area, and it was beautiful, super relaxing. But the one we went to, the pods had a light and a music button within them, which was nice because you felt like you had kind of like an emergency exit to, feeling overwhelmed, which just the floating sensation at first was super overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And then I had to be like, what's going to happen to you?
Yeah.
In this pod.
You stay here. Yeah.
Like nothing. You're fine. You lock the door, but you're like naked and vulnerable.
Yeah. Like a tanning bed. If anyone's ever tanned before,
yeah,
you kind of feel vulnerable. You're naked.
You're just like laying there.
Yeah.
It took me a while to turn off the lights and music, but I turned off the lights first because I do like meditating in the dark and I think it's peaceful. And I kept the music on because I thought it would help me drown out my thoughts because I am an overthinker, and I'm someone who, even when I struggle to fall asleep at night because it's hard for me to get that off switch going. So I was like, the music, if I keep it on, I can focus on it. But I actually think, upon reflection, it was pulling me out of the fullest experience that I could have had. So I would say for half of it, I was in the dark, but I had the music on, and I regret that. But it's okay. I got pretty relaxed. I was thinking the whole time, but it was fine. And then all of a sudden, I just had this like fear wash over me, and I was like, "Where's my body?" Like, just like an overall feeling of like, and I just had to sit up. But when you sit up, your head feels so heavy pulling it out of the floaty water, like with your wet hair. And they also told us like, be really careful not to get the salty water in your eyes and stuff because it'll burn like a motherfucker. So I was like, pterodactyling out of the water, and I just had a moment of like, I need to know what time it is. I'm feeling really anxious, and I thought that was really strange because I was like, who fucking cares what time it is?
Yeah,
but it doesn't.
I did have one moment of time where I was like, kind of at the end, I felt like where I was like, oh, is this gonna be over soon? And I was like, bitch, you allotted this time for yourself today and you scheduled it out. It's gonna be fine, whatever time it is.
I did the same thing, and I think I wrote down like why is there comfort in time? Mm-hmm. Why are we so addicted to the clock
and knowing
oh, I have 15 more minutes left of this, and and this is, and then at 7:00 I meet this person here. I feel like we're just so go that to like take even an hour. I remember thinking in the tank like, oh, I bet this would be better if it was like a 30-minute session, and then and I was like, why am I
trying to shorten this experience?
Why am I trying to cut off a way to connect with myself? Mm-hmm. But we're so prone to doing that. And I listened to Dax Shepard's podcast, The Armchair Expert, and he did one recently with BJ Novak. But they were talking at the end of it. You know how they do that, like the end fact check. They were talking about being an American and how, because they went on tour in Europe and stuff, and how Americans are very prone to like be like, go, next thing. We're just like, everyone's an entrepreneur. Everyone has so much stuff going on. And I was just like, you don't realize that until you are put in a situation that's completely forcing you to like look within, or like, checking your actions. I feel like the tank kind of slapped me in the face.
It did. I like that. I like that for you. Yeah. When I got in, I immediately laid down. I was just kind of waiting for that lady to start talking to me. Yeah. She didn't start talking for a while, and I was like,
I cannot believe that I was fucking with my earplugs for and the shower, because I could not. I texted you. I was like, is your shower warm, or is this the point? Like, I could not. But you were just like,
and I turned my do not disturb on immediately. Yeah. So, because I was like, I don't want to get a phone call in the middle of this.
I did too, yeah.
So, and I got in there, I laid back, and pretty soon after, I turned the light off, and then I like music in the background. Like, I love Hertz healing vibes and meditating and everything. Didn't like that music.
That's what maybe it wasn't bad. It was just very like basic.
So generically.
Yeah.
So
Almost
I turned it
elevator
off.
music.
Yeah, I turned it off pretty much as soon as I turned the light off, which was pretty early on in the float. And I did have that experience of like complete like oneness and like just submerging into nothingness, which I was like, whoa. You know, like, because we live in this egocentric world and we're driven by our individualism. So it kind of was a moment where I was like, am I nothing? Or like,
am I nothing or everything?
I kind of was just like, am I nothing? Like, do I just melt into everything? Am I just returning to which I came? And how much do I matter in the scheme of things? And I like...
You were having profound thoughts. I was like, should I turn off the light? No, not yet. Maybe. I'm salty. Like,
oh my God, did you... Also, towards the end, my salt dried up on some of my areas. I was like, I'm crusty now.
Yeah, I felt that.
But I was really good. I did have to stay present. You know, that's just meditating overall, especially for an hour. You know, you're sitting there with yourself, so you're going to have times. And there were moments like we briefly spoke about, I want to remember this, or like trying to experience it outside of being in it, because we were going to talk about it on the podcast and we're going to like dissect it and think about it. So
you're trying to like remember the experience but stay present within the experience and not only think about it in the sense of like, how am I going to talk about it later?
Yeah, exactly. What will I say about this?
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you know what, be here now. And I had a moment too where I like lost my body completely, kind of like you're saying, like just, and then when I kind of came to, because I think I like slipped into theta hard. I don't know if I maybe slightly fell asleep, but when I was kind of coming out of it, I felt that I was in my own bed at home. Like I felt so much comfort and like safety that I thought I was in my bed for a brief moment, and then the water kind of jostled and I was like, oh, I'm in a tank in the middle of Hollywood. This is not my bed at home.
Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, I had that. I think when I had that outer body experience for a second, it kind of freaked me out, and then I like sat up. And then when I looked at the clock, I was so mad at myself. Not even mad, but just like, I was like, come on, like, why?
Brittany.
Why do you need this? Why are you attached to this thing? So then I was like, okay, I have like 20 minutes left. And it ended up being longer because I think we were in there until like 45.
Yeah.
Not the 30-minute mark or whatever, because we got in at like 3:30, but it kind of starts later and they gave us the full hour. I feel like sometimes when you get a massage, they like start later and still end.
Yeah,
like,
at the
time. And you're just like, that wasn't an hour. You're an asshole. But, or maybe that's just me because I want more massages. But I don't know. It was nice because when I looked at the clock, I was like, okay, you have 20 minutes. Turn off the fucking light or turn off the music and really be in it. I had the weirdest experience when I turned off the light. I saw red. My light was blue in the tank. So when I turned off the light, and instead of seeing like the blackness by my eyes, I saw all red, and I opened my eyes and it was red. And I think it was my eyes just like adjusting, but it was so strange. And I was looking around in the red and it was like kind of moving and stuff.
Interesting.
And I was like, I hope I didn't fuck up my eyes.
I am going to say, I think it would be a really great experience to microdose mushrooms or take a small trip in that tank, because I already had some interesting meditative visuals. There was just one, for instance, where I was a fucking naked moon goddess in a desert oasis. There was like a lagoon and a full moon, and I was like,
that sounds amazing.
It was like a brief little vignette, and I was like, first of all, am I astral projecting? Because fucking dope.
This is everything.
I want to stay here. But it was just like a brief, like, I saw this woman walk by, and then it just slightly, perhaps I was having like, I had a slight vision in there. Otherwise I was, like just struggling with meditation, like having to come back to myself and like focus on my breath and just try to be present. And at the end, it did get a little bit hard. I was kind of like, okay, it's been a while.
Like, I need to get back to reality.
Yeah, but I think I just need to practice meditating. And I will say, if you haven't meditated in a long time and you wanting to make it a practice in your life, I think this is a great way to kick it off.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I was like, I'm going to meditate this week. And I did once, and then I missed yesterday. And then doing this today, I was like, why am I not taking this time for myself? It feels so nice. And nothing crashed around me. I feel like I have this like fear of like, I'm going to miss that audition or that one call or that thing. And it's like, just stop, dude. When I like came back into the tank, I again struggled with how loud my own breath was because your ears are plugged and then you're underwater. And so just you hear yourself breathing. And then I was like, why are you scared of this? Because this happens to me a lot in meditation too, where when people say to focus on your breath, I start disassociating and I, like feeling like I don't remember how to breathe. Where I'm like, breathe in or breathe out, breathe in or breathe out. Oh, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. And I'm like, your body will keep breathing. I don't know why that's like a fear of mine. So a lot of times when I meditate, even I go outside of myself and I focus on like a humming in the distance or whatever. But after I was like, aren't you happy you're breathing? Isn't this great? Like, you're alive, you stupid shit. Like, whatever. I started to fall asleep. And it was great because it's not like you're fully asleep. So I guess it is that theta
Brain state.
But I was super relaxed. And I remember thinking before, like completely like kind of slipping, was like, this is what is meant to happen in here. Like, I feel completely at ease and I feel like full and I'm not scared and I'm like, I feel comfort. Yeah. That was really nice. And then I think it was like that for the rest of the time, whatever. And then my fucking stomach growled.
Oh no.
And it scared the shit out of me.
A gnarly, hungry growl.
It literally came like deep in my body and like up to my thing. And I was like,
I've been risen.
Oh, sorry. And then I fell back like kind of into the theta state. And then I barely heard the announcement of like that the session was over. And I'm a pretty light sleeper or whatever. So I was like, if someone was a heavy sleeper, what would they do?
Yeah.
Because the lady's voice is like, your session is over.
The light is what actually got me.
To like when that came back. I think maybe it was the light that got me. I didn't even realize that the light came on. Oh, but it wasn't me that printed it on.
The red was kind of like, we're done now. And I was like,
You're like, rude.
And I never sat up. So at the end, sitting up, that initial sit up, I was like, yo, I'm going to need to sit here for 1 second.
I'm going to need to breathe.
And I was just like sitting cross-legged in this tank and taking it in because it is like a weird spaceship that I just floated inside of. Mm-hmm. And I think to play on what you were saying about like feeling like lifted and everything, one of the concepts I was like, dang, this is like one of the rare times I feel literally supported by the earth and the universe, like in a very physical manifestation of like, I was just being held up.
Yeah.
Like,
you're being
cradled. Got you, girl.
Yeah.
Like, we got you, you got you. And like, I did kind of imagine it being like comforted and held by the Mother Earth. And I thought that was a beautiful concept to visualize in there as well. So if you're going to float, maybe you can visualize that and think about that. I felt light and bright afterwards. I felt relaxed. Mm-hmm. I felt really great. I still feel great.
I felt super relaxed. I definitely would do that again. My skin feels amazing.
I almost feel like it's something you should do every other month or once every 3 months. Mm-hmm. Just like check in with yourself.
Treat yourself.
Make it a day. Go inward. Be supported with the earth. Like, I don't know if you're going to make it one of your rituals, if you want to do it with like intention and some magic behind it. Like,
totally. I think that's so important. And I think it's funny. I was listening to Abraham Hicks in the car on the way to the float tank, and I just clicked on one of the random YouTube links. If you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, Esther Hicks communicates with Abraham Hicks to give us spiritual messages from the other side. They wrote the Law of Attraction book along with a ton of others. She has a ton of amazing lessons. She's really great. So the one I listened to just happened to be, I think it was called like How to Get What We Want, and it was talking about manifestation. and how we all forget that we are vibrational beings more than we are physical beings, and our flesh and blood and bone is so minute to what we truly are, but we have a hard time like letting it go. And so it's nice to be in the float tank, because then you kind of forget you have a body.
You get to detach from your physical body. Yeah, that's a really good point and observation.
I feel like there's no other time in your life that...
There's really no feeling. I've never experienced a feeling like that. So if you want to just try it just to know what it feels like to be held and supported by 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt.
Yeah. And especially if you're like a bigger person, like I picture like Max, he's probably never been cradled.
He's never been held by the universe before.
Like he's a heavy boy. Like, you know what I mean? So
I wrote down some things I wanted from the session before we went in.
Ooh,
I said,
smart.
Relax, enjoy, learn, grow, and astro travel.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. Dude, I was like kind of putting it out there if it was going to happen. And I'm not saying it didn't, but I definitely had a visual and I went somewhere. And
you casted that net. You
Yeah.
You did that for yourself. I think I need another session to ease into it. But I also think, knowing the differences between me and you, I have a much higher anxiety in life in general than you do. And I feel like you're more connected with your, not your spirituality, but maybe just like the visuals of everything. And for me, it takes a while to delve into that. Like once I'm there, I'm very happy, but to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like relax
just
into
like
it.
let it go.
Yeah.
And well, I think it took me a minute to like believe my visuals. I saw a spiritual meme, whatever, that was like me like gaslighting myself for 15 minutes after having like a really beautiful spiritual experience, like saying like, oh, it didn't happen, that's crazy, did I feel that, did I hear that, what even was that? So I think I'm like,
that's so true. Like you always undermine
what you felt.
Yes.
And it's just like, maybe it just was what it was, and I can't really describe it, but I saw some really dope shit and it was cool, and who knows?
It's amazing. I think that's like a lesson to learn throughout all of your spiritual journeys, is like, if you have a first instinct, like even when I was pulling tarot this morning, I pulled a card and then I was like, oh, that's talking about this. And I was like, well, maybe it means something more. And I'm like, why do I have to backtrack? There's a reason that thought came into my mind. Why am I questioning it? It's just like, that should be, I think, a way we can like lead everything we do, is like, it's okay to trust that initial instinct. Why are
that
we
intuition,
that intuition?
yeah.
We're so quick to undermine, like cut them down, which sucks.
But you gotta listen to it to strengthen it, you guys. You gotta just like, because you regret it when you don't, or you learn that way because you're like, damn, I knew that.
She told me.
I thought that before, and I guess what? I still went along with this stupid
And I
shit.
said, no. Okay, let's pull a tarot.
Yeah, let's go.
If you're someone who's spiritual and like wants to have a date or something to do with someone who's maybe not spiritual, like I think Max would enjoy that experience. Or, you know, someone who's like not trying to just like meditate for the sake of oneness, but like for just physical body health.
Yeah.
You know, I think I did it last time, you and I.
Oh, I'll do a little pull for us. Wow.
If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at contactfoolspodcast@gmail.com.
That was good.
So we love to hear from you.
So we have Knight of Pentacles and Eight of Wands. Let's try and decipher.
I'm not sure if they were reversed or not, and Kate doesn't really do reversals, but upright Knight of Pentacles exemplifies hard work that goes into fulfilling one's dreams. You either know what you want out of life or you're developing a plan. It says reversed, too many ideas running through your mind, and you have come to the realization that you can't accomplish everything you set out to do. I feel a little bit of both of that though. You've already taken steps being methodical to approach and reach your goals. I feel like we're doing that every day, and I think during the portal is a great time to like initiate any of those goals, or just bring up what's fresh and what's serving you, and maybe let go of things that aren't anymore.
Yeah, release that shit, man. It's all about shedding. I cut my hair today, you guys. I don't know what you need to release, but do it.
I think this is also interesting. Self-development takes time and effort, but the tasks of changing yourself for the better need to start here and now.
Wow.
That's really great.
Here in this float tank tonight.
Yeah. Time to start changing yourself for the better.
Here we go.
It's never too late to start. A portal is a great reminder of that. Like,
a great time to make some initiations. 111, baby. Like, this is the beginning of some things that you're starting. So, like, do it. Start it. Shed it. And then begin again. And don't be afraid of the beginnings. Don't be fearful, because whatever you don't know, you'll learn.
And it's fun being the fool.
Yeah. It's fun.
Our next card is the Eight of Wands. Go with the flow, embrace the swiftness that life is granting you, and move forward, not back. I feel like that's literally what you just said. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Hone in on your goals and don't let yourself get distracted. This is a time for taking the bull by the horns and getting things done. So find your target. This is a falcon. So find what you're going to dive in on and what you're going to focus in on. Like, make an intention for your portal and freaking do it, you guys. Let go of everything that's holding you back and just go for it. I feel like both of these cards are very like goal oriented, which is so great for the portal, and just reminding us that what you want is attainable. Anything you want is within your grasp. Yay. And maybe go float. And go float, because that shit was fun as fuck. Enjoy your week, you guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Bye. We love you. Bye.